Enchanted Equine Adventures from Albuquerque, New Mexico. And this is part 3 of our little instructional video series. And I hope you enjoyed part 1 and part 2. Part 3 is going to be about burnout and saddle fit. So in general, this topic is for lesson horses, therapeutic riding or otherwise. So hopefully your horses don't look like the horses in this slide. Cinchy, angry, biting, kicking, running away from the halter, not wanting to walk with the humans. Hopefully your horses don't act like that, but every now and then we come across an issue and we need to resolve it for them. So I hope that this will help you. And again, if you have any questions, send me an email and I'll see if I can get you an answer or at least get you in touch with someone who can answer for you. So let's talk about burnout. Burnout in a lesson horse is a pretty hot topic right now. Burnout can manifest in many different ways, just like stress. But burnout is something that is very important to our equine partners. If your horse does not want to do his job anymore, he can't just say, you know what, here's my 2-week notice. I'm out of here. I need a vacation. All right? He can't say that to you. I wish he could sometimes, but he'll tell you in other ways that he's just not having it anymore. And it can be for a number of issues, from saddle fit to lack of socialization to maybe an issue with your arena footing. It can be numerous things. So trying to figure out what they are and make that horse's life a little bit better is the least that we can do for them. So, is your horse cinchy? Is your horse biting people? Is your horse biting people while you're cinching him up? Does your horse kick out? Is he reluctant to work? Does he not want to walk along with your horse leaders? Does he run away from the halter when he sees the halter in your hand? So the big thing in my book is to ensure that it's burnout versus pain. Pain versus burnout is always a big deal for me. Any issue in any horse, even the backyard riding horse, if you have an issue with that horse, your first objective is to ensure that it is not pain related, and then figure out what it is and go from there. In therapeutic riding, we have a lot of riders who are not balanced, and that is one of the things that therapeutic riding helps, is to improve balance and core strength. So because of that, we don't have a lot of balanced riders, but part of our program should include balanced independent riders, whether those are clients or volunteers, whether it's the local students from the local university who come and exercise your horses. Ensure that your lesson horses have balanced independent riders at some point during their weekly lesson structure. Lots of studies have shown that burnout in therapeutic riding horses is due solely to the lack of sight. If you think about a prey animal who has almost 360 vision and you put a horse leader and 2 sidewalkers next to him, you are blocking more than 50% of his line of sight. So you're taking away a huge piece of his level of safety. So just taking away horse leaders and sidewalkers will help some of those horses that are exhibiting signs of burnout. So whether that be having independent balanced riders ride a couple of times a week, or looking at something like ground driving, some of your therapeutic riding clients who don't require sidewalkers. Maybe they just need a horse leader. Having that horse leader behind the horse, which of course would include teaching a horse how to ground drive if he doesn't know how to ground drive, that will help tremendously with burnout. Side leading. Side leading is a new thing. Side leading is also for the more independent or even a transitioning rider who's going from having sidewalkers and a horse leader, moving to that independence, that transition time, moving to a side leader can help the horse with burnout. But you have to train your horse on having a side leader, because if he's used to having the leader right up in front in his face and that person moves back to the leg of the rider, it's going to be a little bit different for him. So you have to train them on that. And what about your arena footing? In New Mexico, we have sand. That's what we have. And if you have the financial ability to do so, and you can get a fantastic footing put into your arena with, cut up tires or recycled materials, do it. Great. Awesome. The rest of us have to make do with what we have, and a lot of us just have sand. So making sure that you fix the sand so that it has that rebound for the horse's hoof, that it pushes the horse's hoof back up, that will help a lot with burnout. Some horses don't want to walk through deep sand. Some horses, especially thoroughbreds, horses with thinner soles, don't want to walk on concrete. They don't want to walk on super hard clay. So you have to make sure that your footing is not contributing to the burnout of your horse. And another big part of burnout, which I think people don't think about this a lot, especially when you have a lesson program or a business, is that horses need time to be a horse, together as a herd. And sometimes that involves some aches and pains, some growing and some learning. A lot of horses haven't been allowed to be in a herd, so sometimes it takes a little bit of them getting used to it, getting used to each other, for them to be able to live as a healthy herd. But that time off away from humans just to be horses, whether it just be in the arena or if you actually have really nice turnouts, just let them be a horse for a couple hours a day. Together, they need that. So that brings us to saddle fit. Saddle fit is another huge part of burnout in therapeutic riding and just lesson horses in general. And a lot of people, even when I was a kid, I had a saddle, I threw it on a horse, I went and rode. I never had a thought when I was a kid that maybe that saddle didn't fit that horse. Maybe that's why he bucked me off. Who knew? But now, today, we know better. And we know that horses are changing, and a lot of saddles are still left over from 30 years ago when we weren't really focused on this issue, and now we are. So newer saddles are taking into account the fact that horses' bodies are changing because we've changed all of their habits. So saddle fit is a huge part of burnout. If you're riding in an improperly fitting saddle, whether it doesn't fit the rider or the horse or both of you, that's a huge deal. And we're very lucky in New Mexico to have Christina Savitsky, and she is our local saddle fit expert. And if you Google her and look up some of her videos and her website, she owns a company called Buckaroo Balance. She has lots of tips on saddle fit. And if you're watching this and you happen to be in New Mexico, I recommend getting in touch with Christina, and she will help you with your horse's saddle fit issues. But if you don't live here, find someone in your area that does saddle fit. There's different saddle makers who come around across the country and do saddle fitting. Schlese is a German brand of dressage saddle. They actually crisscross the country and do lots of saddle fit. So look for these companies that'll help you. Of course, they're going to try and sell you their own product. Maybe their product doesn't work for your horse. So just go out and see if you can find a saddle fit expert that'll help you, that'll come and put their hands on your horse and your saddle and make sure that it fits properly. Thermography is a brand new, it's not brand new, it's brand new to the horse world. It's a technology that can help you look at pictures of a horse's back and see where there are pain spots. And there are some veterinarians out there and clinics out there that have this technology already, and that is a fantastic resource for you. If you have someone in your area that owns the machine and can do that for you, I highly recommend that. And it'll show you all the hot spots on a horse's back where your saddle is pinching. Having an improperly fitting saddle, surprisingly, will impede your horse's forward movement, and it could shorten his or her stride. So in therapeutic riding, a lot of the times this is not a big deal, but if a horse is asked to move the same way for multiple lessons a day, a week, a month, and his stride is shortened every time he's ridden, this is going to have an impact. So, and it's going to cost you more money in the long run with chiropractic adjustments and vet appointments. So make sure that you look into saddle fit. As a therapeutic riding instructor, we have lots of unbalanced riders. So an improperly fitting saddle with a rider who's unbalanced is just going to compound the issue for you. So make sure that you get that fixed for your equine partners. So there's been new studies that have come out, and they have taught us that your girth placement can shorten the stride of your horse, and it also impede his forward movement. So where your girth goes, as well as the rest of your saddle fit, is going to affect your horse's burnout level and his level of pleasure in doing his job for you. So today we went over burnout and saddle fit. So I hope that helped you a little bit with your program. If you have any questions, again, send me an email and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And if you want the resources for this program, I'll send you the list of those resources as well. Thanks. Have a good day.